time. So now I told you had 1 minute. I reconsidered and think that 2 minutes would be nice, starting from to do the pitch, sort of, because what you really want to achieve with this one is actually to create this change path to the future, where you're sort of thinking about how to reach there, and we also want you all to share your vision of the future, your change path, and sort of pitch that to be able to attract as many people as possible, because what you really need to change the future is actually to get people on board. So that's what you're aiming for. Pitch your change path to be able to sort of say, come join us and do this, so we can do this together to create what we want. So should we start with group? I'm gonna go we're gonna start with group number 1, and you will have 2 minutes to do this. I will share my screen, and also me and Emma sort of figured, do we have a timer? Oh yes, we have. So we have start the timer. 2 minutes. Go. Tell us.
Thank you, Matthias. The change path to the future, where we see an attractive community standing firmly on mining, tourism, and space industry. That is what we want to achieve, because we think that is the key ingredients for achieve success in this project. If you start from the beginning, where we are today, we see that we have a necessity for more housing, of course, and this is a low difficult and near in time project, since we are producing more houses on board as we are going in the city transformation, and the difficulty in this is, of course, even though it's not difficult to build houses, it takes time to build houses, but as I said, this is an ongoing process. One of the challenges with houses is, of course, that that we have high prices, and when you are producing newly built houses, some get somewhat of higher rents, of course. Rent, it's not called rent, or whatever. Throughout this process, which is both high in difficulty and time, and we have to take this thing as a part of the process, is the continued progress of building New Kiruna, because this is both a challenge and an opportunity. As you see that further down the timeline, we have a high-tech cluster in the city center, and this will be a reality. What?
2 minutes.
How could this be 2 minutes?
Almost 2 minutes. Thank you.
I have to work on my pitch.
That's a long. Thank you very much. I think that's really, really interesting to create that kind of attractive community. So moving forward, we have group number, let's see, now we're at group number 2. Are you guys ready to give your pitch? 2 minute pitch?
Well, I will try to do it in 2 minutes. Yes, clock has started. So the Utopia is an attractive, multidisciplinary, self-sustaining ecosystem. We didn't say it in the previous session, but we all agree on this. And I think, well, we think the first step is to increase accessibility, which means increased flight, which will happen, I think, eventually when Corona disappeared, hopefully in the near future. Then an easy next step can be a new forum created by the municipality, involving all the actors in the region to create a plan for development. So everybody's voice can be heard, and then this plan has to be communicated, obviously, to be attractive for investors. Then there are a couple of milestones, like the new research infrastructures are operational, and then first orbital launch from S-range. This would have an indirect effect of increased number of visiting scientists, but also increased number of qualified workers in the region. and an indirect effect of increased tourism as well. Then in the longer time scale and higher difficulty level is housing problem solved, because that's the key to make Kiruna more livable. Then the new city center is also will be open soon, and hopefully it will work as a hub for innovation. Then in the distant future, double train tracks to create financially self-sustaining transport in the region. And we definitely need to improve also the relations with the Sami people and the tourism sector. Yes, and obviously PR outreach, keep the space industry interesting. Almost managed everything.
Yes, thank you. That's really interesting. And moving forward to group number 3.
Okay. Yes. Group number 3. So we thought that starting with the space sector, that of course in 5 years it becomes already range is a successful spaceport with several launch providers, making many other planned spaceports in Europe, I wrote, less feasible, but I didn't want to crushing say obsolete. And Kiruna is advertising basically to space companies with a slogan, why wait if you can do it from Kiruna? Also, all space-related degree programs at LTU are basically located in Kiruna, together with a national space graduate school that is also located here, with upstream and downstream related degree programs. And all of this leads to many more students staying in Kiruna, other people attracted to Kiruna and coming here, with more collaboration and more activities in the city, the need for housing. And we also had the extended railway, basically a high-speed train connecting the south of Sweden with Kiruna. We also see in about 8 to 10 years that there is, of course, a lot of collaboration in a wide field of technologies and applications in hydrogen-based, carbon-neutral industries and spin-offs for green steel production. And our far goal, and that's why we have this big gap here, is that in 100 years from now, Kiruna made a transition from a mining town to a new space city that creates a sustainable future for Kiruna beyond 100 years from now. That's our pitch.
Nice, thank you. That's really, really nice. Next one will be, now we're at group, let's help me. This is group number 5, I think.
No, 4.
4.
Uh-huh.
This is you.
Okay.
We didn't have
Did you
before.
skip?
4 was decommissioned.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 5 then.
5. Let's see.
Yeah. Our pitch here is that we are the world champion in creating space experts of the children born in our region and in our whole country, we said at the end, because we see that we need to attract people, not just work with the ones who live here. But it's a lot about PR, changing a mindset. We have to change the mindset that people who work with space are only people who moved into Kiruna. And we need to talk about both stimulating the children born here, but also other children and young people out in our country. So we were talking a lot about this, but we said that you see all these, I don't know if you see my cursor here, but all these around the orange PR arbete. I'm sorry, this is Swedish and English. Anyway, we need to do a lot of things to work together with the mine, because the mining and also the tourism, that has been said, that we are high tech. We are a high tech city, and even once you come here, you can be very mobile, go from one branch and one area to another. So you can go from the mining to the space business and go back and forth, like taking your competence and your technology skills with you, and that we should not encourage a competition between these these areas, because we will need everybody to stay here and to see that it's a fantastic opportunity to be able to work in different fields depending on yeah, where you want to be. But the very first thing that we also need to do in parallel with working with the PR and building up this mindset of the people living in Sweden and living in our region, that we are a state-of-the-art leading country and region in space. We should also gather people in our region here, to both those who are in space, of course, but also those who are in the school administration, to put up a common roadmap. How can this be done from very early age, not just high school as we're talking about? And we, of course, in parallel, sorry?
Your time is up.
My time is out. Okay, that was the sound. I see. But
one
thing I
closing
have
remark.
to add is we don't only have a high school in space, a space high school in the future. We also have a SSC space high school, which can be a complement. So we have lots of good things going on.
Really good. So moving on to group. Now we're in group number 6, I think.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
We go ahead. If you can make YouTube a little bit bigger so you can read. So Kiruna is the place where we love to work. We love to go to work, love to go home from work as well. And commuting is not an issue. You can see the auroras from your living room, or you have the sun in your face at midnight. So this is really the best place for balancing both work and family life. And if we go down to what can be done immediately there, you see close to Origo, we want to have influencers helping us to tell about why Kiruna is such a fantastic place. And we want to create a Hall of Fame where it's easy for celebrities coming to this region to actually post that they have been here and what they did, the fantastic things that they did. For example, they pushed a button for launching things from S-Range. And actually, lots of famous people are already visiting Kiruna, but we don't see them. So we need to collaborate with, for example, Filmpool Nord. And we should also then have these practical issues like better housing, and then it's both municipality and entrepreneurs that can help out. Create more joint projects with NASA and ESA, and have more of a functional launch site. But also this is going on, as we know. And what we have there in the middle is, with the arrow, is to make space activities more visible via apps, so that you can have that with you, so you know what is happening. And also that we have visitors gallery up on the mountain top, so that it's easy for families to go there, have some good local food, and to learn more about the current activities going on. And this can also be like a museum where you actually can also learn about history. All these things exist, but it should be more accessible and more gathered. So we worked very much with PR and communication in our group.
Nice, thank you. Bang on time, really good. Then we move on to group number, let's see, this is the group number 7.
Yes, hello, here is group number 7. So our utopia is a world where international cooperation is flourishing, and where we use space to really have a sustainable use of all the world resources. That's the world we're living in. And on the more regional and local scale, we have really connected both space and the hydrogen industry of Norrbotten, as well as the infrastructure industry. That is going to grow tremendously in the next few years. And those are fully connected with space in our world, both when it comes to the technology, recruitment, and all other aspects of this growth. And we are attracting then talents, investors, and companies. How to do this? Well, we have begun with the values that we see. These are sort of low-hanging fruits. We have the grassroots level support and the sustainable values that is needed to start this change. So those are easy things. Then we want to make a formal creation of the space cluster to make it go on after REIT. And then we really need both a physical and online infrastructure to meet and share ideas, talents, resources, problems. So that is part of the cluster that we need to build. And from there on, we start climbing the ladders, business opportunities, startups, employment opportunities. And in parallel, that goes with technology ideas, prototyping showcases, solutions. So by starting to climb this ladder, we will reach our utopia in the future. I was before the time up was up.
Yeah, really, really good. Good time management. Thank you very much. Then we have the last group will be group number, let's see, this is group number 8.
9.
Right? Yeah.
Do you want the honor, Craig, or do you want me to do the presentation?
Please take it, Alexander. Great.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, but our utopia is about someone who has realized his or her childhood dreams of moving to Kiruna and becoming a rocket scientist. So the image of Kiruna being the center of Europe's space activities. We're starting from the left. First thing that should happen is more interaction and collaboration between industry and academia and different companies within that, within our cluster, more or less. Fairly easy to do. We can do this today if we want to, but we need to take actions for it. We also mentioned expanding courses for students and also company attracting new workforce, which is part of sort of the whole collaborative idea here. More housing is quite difficult since it's been a problem and it's a problem today. Although building a house is not that difficult, but achieving it there's some complexity in that, and the timing is also an issue. We also thought of an idea for a sort of a discount for people in the municipality, sort of a Kiruna card or something that a financial incentive for the individual to live and work in Kiruna. And also international school for children is something that needs to be in place if we want to attract international workers. And then a science park in Kiruna where we can collaborate and sit together as startups and other companies and support from both the tech and business perspective. Infrastructure improvement, we think that it will happen over time as we are improving on the left side of this. And finally, in the end, create a Kiruna and a positive, innovative attitude and improve our brand. And this will more be an effect than something that we need to do, but it will be an effect of the other activities. Thank you.
Thank you. Now you've heard all the change paths and sort of, I think they are really, really interested in all of them. We have roughly 25 minutes left